Dear friends, in today's class, we are going to discuss the second part of the function, that is user defined function. In the last classes, we discussed all the inbuilt function which is essential to you. Now we comes to user defined function. What is user defined function? The function defined by user by means of any character combination and ended with a parenthesis mark known as user defined function. Means if you take hello and ended with a parenthesis, that is a user defined function. If you take some alphabet with some numbers, we can also take CTC123 as a user defined function. Means function name is anything else, but when ended with a parenthesis is known as your user defined function. Previously we discussed predefined function. We know the calling function and we use the called function because it is defined in the header files. But now we have to create the function and we have to use it. Means we have to declare the function, we have to declare the definition, then you use according to your requirements. And there are some rules for defining user defined function. Every function has two parts, calling part and called part, or calling module or called module. Function always calls from calling to called. How you know which is calling, which is called? The function aside which the semicolon is there, there is a calling module. The function aside which the block of statement to be written within two curly brackets, that is known as your called block. Again I am repeating, the function in the side of which semicolon is given, that is a calling function. The function where there is no semicolon but block of statement to be written within two curly brackets, that is known as your called function. Called function, called module, called part all having equal meaning. Calling function, calling module, calling part all having equal meaning. The argument present in the calling part known as actual argument and the argument present in the called part known as formal argument. At the time of calling the function, if some argument is present in the calling module known as actual argument, those are present in the called module known as your formal argument. The type and size of actual argument and formal argument must be same. Means what are the type of value you are sending and how many numbers of value you are sending, that much type and that much number to be received in the called block. Means function name in both the module must be same. Suppose we pass a hello calling module, the called module should be carry hello. If we in hello function place a integer value, called module must be receiving that integer value. If you are not passing any value, we have not to receive any value. Means the declaration type and the definitions type should be matched. Variable name in both the module may be same or different. Suppose we pass A, we can receive in A or in receive in B. Whatever we can do, but function name never changes. We take some example. Display as a user defined function, semicolon is there, that is a calling block, and this block starts from here to here. As return type is nothing, it's a void. Display is a user defined function. The block of code to be written here means this is calling block, this is called block. If there is within the parenthesis some argument is there, then it can be turned as actual argument. If it is received here, that is known as your formal argument. Second example we are taking, display is a user defined function, 10 is the argument, means one integer, means type is integer and one argument we are passing. Hence in the called block, that argument and that type to be received. Type is what? Integer. How many integer? One integer, we received it. If we mismatch as character or number of argument here, then it will show the error. Means now all the rules satisfied. Means function has two part, calling and called. Argument present in the calling part known as actual and formal argument in the called part. The name of the function is both modules same. The variable name may be same or different. Calling block will call the called block and whatever the code you have to write within the called block, because as we know, either predefined function or user defined function, the aim is to execute the block of code having a specific purpose. Means in the call block at the definition part, whatever the logic or the code you have to write here. Every user defined function has three parts. One is function prototype, one is function definition, one is function call. Here if you can define, this is function call, semicolon here, this is function definition, what we have to write, and this is prototype. Prototype means how the value will pass and how the value is written is determined by the prototype, And regarding the prototype, in the next class we have to define what are the different function prototype is being there. But you have to remember the user defined function. To define, first we have to understand its a part, and user defined function is divided into three parts. One is function prototype, means how the value pass, how the value will return, that is determined by function prototype. Function definition, where the block of code to be written. Function call means where the function will call, that is calling block, because calling block is known as your caller and the call block is known as your callee, and function always calls from calling block to the call block. If you define the calling block, there is no call block, there will be error. If you define the call block but there is no calling function, that is also defining the error or generating the error. In the next class, we have to discuss what is function prototype and what are the different function prototype with the example. I think today is a small session. You understand? Having any comment, please make the comment. Having any doubts, please make the comment as the doubts so that we try to clarify it. If you did not subscribe previously, kindly subscribe it. If you like this video, please like it. And in the next class, we have to discuss the prototype in function, that is function prototype, and what are the kind of a function prototype. Thank you. See you in the next class.